Yeah, go live. Actually, let me
We're
let me
live.
fill up. Oh, we're live.
We're live. We're live and recording.
Oh, a second. Give me a second. I need to fill up my essentials.
Okay. Well, you
survival kit.
You fill up your survival kit. As long as your microphone still works, we can keep
But
going.
today, I'd like to speak and talk about heroes.
Heroes. I want to talk about a few things as well, my man.
Yeah. Yeah, but me first.
Yeah.
I'm
Sure.
older, so shut the fuck up. No, just the mechanics at Red Bull, Hungarian Grand Prix. Verstappen putting it in the wall in the in the formation. It's not the formation lap, just going around to get to the grid, and they being able in 20 minutes to just put everything back in place, and him getting a second place in the Grand Prix is just insane. And the second one is fucking Marc Marquez. He crashed, broke his arm, his humerus on the right arm. Everybody, the doctors initially were saying he's not going to be able to race the whole season. After examination, he was like, "Well, I'll be back in about 2 or 3 races," and he's back the next fucking weekend. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch it at all, right? I didn't realize that MotoGP was actually back, but it was actually you messaged me today while I was getting a haircut. You're like, look at what happened to Marc Marquez, and I had a look at it. It took me a while. It took me a while to find out because for some reason Google now likes to take me to all the Indonesian sites and trying to like decipher what the hell
we
is.
know your preference for porn in anything.
Yeah, I know everything just goes to Indonesian stuff now, but it's like, I'm really perplexed by this recording, dude.
I mean, have you seen the high side that he made?
No, sorry, I'm just whinging about OBS on the other computer recording. It's just.
First of all, he either crashed or made a first high side. I didn't really see the first crash. I was just doing something else during the race, but he was out. He rejoined like at the back of the field, made his way up back to fight for second place, made a high side, and that's when he actually. The guy has got the willpower of the whole humanity combined. It's unbelievable. Actually, not combined, multiplied. It's unbelievable. The resilience, the commitment, just very inspiring to see someone at that level, so very secure in his position. I think he's with Honda until 2024 or something like this. The guy is just got like so young, so hungry, so talented, unbelievable.
Yeah, I thought I read he crashed and then came back in third or something like that.
Yeah, that's he was third, fighting for second place when he had that second high side just 2 or 3 laps before the end of the race.
Yeah,
unbelievable. And he's racing again this weekend. I mean, I saw the results of FP3. Okay, he's gonna have to go to Q1. So in MotoGP, basically FP3. I think it's FP3. And people will correct if I'm wrong, if anybody watches anyway. But the thing is, they take the first 10 of FP3, they go through to Q2. And in Q1, they take the rest of the field, and the first 2 can then participate into Q2.
Yeah.
Right. So then you've got the race for the first 12 basically places happening during Q2. So let's see. He's going to be in Q1 this time. I've never seen Marc Marquez in Q1 since I've been following MotoGP, which happened about 3-4 years ago. So let's see what happens. I love to watch qualifying for me in any kind of motor racing because I believe it's like kind of a race within the race. Even if you're not the fastest on your race pace, you still have the fastest lap possible, given the condition on a Saturday, and I just love to watch that.
When is the race actually?
The race is happening tomorrow at 7 p.m. I think our time. 7:07.
Circuito de Juarez.
Is it Juarez or Valencia? Juarez, yeah. Right?
Yeah, Juarez.
Yeah, Valencia.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, Spain is beautiful.
Oh, FP3 is on now.
FP3 is on now. I don't think so. It was a bit earlier.
I'm on the website. It says live timing.
Yeah, of the past session.
Is it?
Yeah, I guess so. Must be. I mean, yeah.
Let me change the layout so you can actually see what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So this is live timing.
While you're looking at what you're looking at, let me refill what I'm, drinking at.
Yeah.
So go into calendar.
Hang on. I've got two mouse on my desk and I'm a bit like lost.
Mouse, not mouth. Okay.
No,
More info on Andalusia. It's Andalusia, actually. It's not
I
Valencia.
was,
What I'm
I
an
was
idiot.
gonna say that they're under the desk.
Yeah. Oh, man. I miss single life. Actually, all of this, get over this, because I mean his content is just genius. The guy has got 2 million followers, so
Yeah.
but he's just very genuine.
Yeah. What did I watch of him recently? There was actually something else I wanted to talk about today, which was you know how the new Ford Bronco actually finally came out. I was like,
It looks awesome. I love it.
I thought, oh, what a great looking car.
In some colors. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but the other thing is, the other thing I was looking at was, well, thinking about like who makes the best retro car? What are some of the best retro cars out there?
Well, Nissan could have done that, but they missed the coach because they didn't go ahead with the production of that whatever 200 something SX or whatever it was called.
Oh, yeah, the Vision, whatever it was called.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, but that was just a genius looking car. Like
and
that boxy type. That's what they need to bring back.
because
That boxy.
I was actually reading about it because it wasn't going to be cheap. They were actually talking about prices, or it was supposed to be like something like 60 grand or something ridiculous. But the thing about
That's
that,
cheap, man.
yeah, no, US, that's not cheap.
Well, it's
But
very cheap.
but
Come on.
the thing is, they canned it. They just totally canned it. I was reading about it last week actually, and I was just like, man, they do that a lot, Nissan. They go, check out this thing, and then they don't do it. But Honda.
Yeah.
I think Honda did a really good thing with that. That electric car that looks really retro.
Yeah.
I thought they did a really good job there. I think that thing looks
Yeah.
great.
I mean, again, like I've been, trying to think about this, and you talking about. We can see that there's been a bit of a rationalization of the portfolio already in many countries from the Japanese manufacturers.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to axe a lot of the sports cars because nobody buys the sports cars. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, right, of the cars that they sell, perhaps with the exception of the UK, who buys more, M3s or M4s than they buy, 3 Series. But in most countries, it's the opposite, right? And I think that the pandemic that we lived through, or that we're living through in many countries, because it's very unequal, but I think it's gonna have a really negative effect on sports cars. Hypercars will be there, but the manufacturers, like the guys like Honda, Toyota, Renault, like those guys, who actually were not doing that many sports car, are just gonna axe those programs.
I was actually listening to a different show as well. And one of the things I actually heard about is Renault Nissan Nissan is going to stop being in Europe entirely. And they're only going to be in like Asia, Australia, and the US. And Europe is just going to be Renault.
Okay, so yeah, it's a bit unclear about this, and I've been trying to read up a little bit. Carlos Ghosn has been set up.
Yeah, I
Oh my
read that, and I
God.
was just like, man, but
Because
it's serious James Bond shit. They like smuggled him out of his apartment in like a cello case or something.
yeah, I mean, yeah, what happened? Yeah, that just no. But what's really interesting to me is to try and understand, because at that time Nissan was trying to get away from Renault, and now it seems that because there's been some evidence of the setup, right? The whole conspiracy against Carlos Ghosn, then they're trying to get back together
Yeah,
more than before, or
yeah,
more than ever before. I just think that those two companies, I love Nissan in the way they are able to change direction so
yeah.
quickly for such a big, production
Not even for a big
company.
not even for a big production company, for a Japanese company.
And for a Japanese company, yeah,
Because
moreover. Yeah, actually, that's
we
a very good
know,
point.
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Japanese companies move very slowly.
Well, they move at their own pace, and they want certainties. Yeah, it's a very Asian way of looking at things. I believe of wanting to have certainties rather than taking risk. And again, it's not true to every industry and to every individual, but in general, we can see that industries move, especially in Japan, quite slowly. Yeah, the thing is, Renault is very functional in the way they make cars, like it's very French in that way. You need a car that does that. Okay, we'll come up with the Renault Espace, which was the very first people carrier in the world at that time.
Yeah,
They didn't even believe in it when they did it, but they still did it.
they took
um,
over the world, with the
the
whole MPV thing. And
Yeah, well,
you
then it was copied over and over again, and that was great. And
and
Reynolds is the one that brought the very first manufacturer that brought the keyless entry to the car, to the masses. It was only available on the S class at that time,
yeah,
and then they brought it to the Megane, which is like a very mid-level sedan car. So it's very funny, like the forays that they make. I just wish that's what I wish we would have in the French manufacturers. But again, the pandemic is going to kill all those projects, or even an idea of that project. But
mm,
more bonkers cars, because they're able to do bonker cars. Like it was just a little bit different, but
yeah,
but so interesting. That Clio V6, that Renault 5 Turbo 2 that everybody remembers. Those Alpine,
yeah. I mean,
just
I
incredible cars.
I really like what Renault does. I mean, I had the Megane RS, the 265,
Hmm.
which I did love, but it's unlike my Abarth, I don't love it like the Abarth. And the reason why I sold my Abarth and the went
The
to
Megane.
the Megane is because the whole time I owned my Abarth, I had this like sound in my head. I know this sounds stupid, but I remember when I went on the test drive, I went to overtake a bus, and I had that buzzing sound, and there
Mm.
was something about it that was just like, oh yeah. I was just
Yeah,
like, it had this sound that just, and it was, and then I had to go to that, and then obviously the story. I owned it for 3 weeks, and I had a head on, and oh, anyway.
Now the thing is, these are two very different cars in a way, and the fun thing with the Abarth is again, and that's what we were saying the last time, that you can drive it, you can enjoy it at 50 k's an hour. And the thing is, the Megane is probably something that on normal road you cannot enjoy to its potential.
Oh, you
Well,
can.
certainly not to its full potential, but on the normal road you don't have the same. I mean, it's just more. It's more of a car,
Yeah.
It's just that it's a different scale. It's just one up. It's not that far off. It's not what I'm saying. It's not like a supercar versus like anybody's car. But what
Yeah.
I loved about the Abarth, and what I continue to love about it for driving it, like a hoonigan in a hooligan, not hoonigan in France, that cost me 8 points and 500 euros in a few days. It's just that it's just like the close ratio, the dartiness, like the go-kart feel.
Yeah.
I believe that the Megane is a much more capable car. If you compare those two onto the track, I think there's no comparison.
No, I mean,
it's gone. But like on the streets,
Hmm.
that the Abarth, you're already a little bit there. You can push it a little bit and still be within
Yeah.
reasonable
I mean,
times.
I took my I took my Megane. It was totally stock to Wakefield Park. It's a racetrack in Australia.
Yep.
And I mean, I did a 114, which is not fast when you're talking about like tune cars and really high performance cars. Like this is back years ago.
Oh, standard. We're
Yeah,
talking.
but 114 is pretty respectable for that car. But the thing that makes that car pretty special, apart from the engine, is the mechanical limited slip diff it had in the front.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you feel like when you actually feel the diff really work, you're just like, oh, you go around a corner and you just go, I want to go faster around this corner. Like, there's this. Do you remember the Bunnings where we used to work?
The Bunnings. No, correction. We never worked at Bunnings.
No.
But the
But
Bunnings
like,
next to where we used to work.
yeah. So
Okay.
when you go down that road and then there's like a 90-degree left.
Oh man, I'm trying to remember, but yeah.
Yeah, when I first got it, I was just like, oh, let's see. I was coming home a bit late and I was like, oh, let's see how this goes around the corner. And I just mashed the throttle and you felt the diff and it just you had so much confidence to just go, oh yeah, just mash the throttle in the corner. It's not a problem. I was just like, oh, that's awesome.
It's still, I think, the Megane. I mean, no, not yours obviously, but there is one crazy 70 or 80,000 or maybe 60 or 70,000 USD Megane, who is still the fastest front wheel drive around the Nürburgring.
I don't think it is anymore, but that R26R, that one?
No. The well after. The R26R had that at some stage, and that was taken by the Seat, I think.
Yeah.
But I believe that now the fastest front-wheel drive around Nürburgring, I believe.
Isn't it the Type R or something that's the quickest around there now?
The Type R was also at some stage after the Seat, but then it came back to the Megane.
Oh, okay.
I went to the Golf also at some stage, the GTI. But wait, no, I'm just looking at things that are like from 2017. So. But anyway, I believe it's back to the. They made a very special one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Renault Sport reclaims front-wheel drive. Nürburgring record with the new Renault. What is it called now? Megane RS Trophy R.
Ah, okay. What year?
They don't say, but I think it's 2019 or something like. It's not long ago, 2018 or 19.
Mm. We were
And
saying this.
it did a 740.1.
That's damn good.
That's just yeah, unbelievably good.
Mm.
Yeah, so just yeah, that I'd like to. I mean, we still have to do that trip.
Yeah, I was thinking
We
about
still
that the
have to
other
do that
day.
trip. Yeah. I'm thinking about it quite often. I mean, obviously these days it's a bit difficult, but we need to save for it. We need to do it. We need to make it happen.
It's driving me nuts, actually.
What happened with your nuts?
Polishing them.
Oh, it's the two mouth.
Sorry?
It's the two mouth.
Yeah, you got it wrong. They're not on the table. They're under the table. Yeah, but going back to what I was saying a bit earlier about the best retro. I mean, it still says we want to do that trip to Spa and everywhere else. We want to do it in an Abarth, like a 500 Abarth.
Yeah, and we might let's see, because well, I don't know. What's the price of the Renault Alpine? The new
Oh.
one.
Are you thinking about a long termer?
Well, if it makes it back to Bordeaux, yeah, we'll leave it in the garage.
Yeah, okay.
Let me just check
But I
price.
think in Australia they're about 110 new. So that's what,
But
80,000 or 70,000 US new, something like that.
by the way, guys, if you want to have a look at a proper website when it comes to supercars for sale secondhand, go to France. Go to lacentrale.fr. Because unbelievable the cars that you can get in there. There are Verons listed in there.
Yeah, I
I
had a
mean,
look.
for Europe, it's just unbelievable.
We spent that time. We spent many hours at what is it, Wine Connection that time, looking at cars. I don't know how many hours and bottles of wine it was, but it was just like making a short list, preparing for this trip. And I remember you were even pretty serious about the 355 as well.
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, okay. There are a few cars that in my heart are just um. I love them. I need to own them at some stage in my life, and two of them I have. So that's the old 5 Series E28, which is a kind of a resto mod. Well, not kind of, it is a resto mod, and the RX-7. And the RX-7, just because of the lines of that car and the fact that it has a Wankel engine. I just, that rotary engine is just, I love it or I hate it or whatever it is. For me, it's something so different, from mainstream, that it just gets interesting. It's not like I like the underground scene or whatever. It's just that this one is just like so way out that it's enticing to kind of own something like this, right? So yeah, that those are the two cars, and then I have a couple more, and one of them is the 355. I think it's one of, I mean, to me, the most proportionate, beautiful car ever made. And I wanted, you know, there are a few colors. My favorite one is actually that midnight blue. I don't know what the code, on Ferrari is. Over tan interior, with a manual gearbox, of course. Gated shifter, which is unbelievable. But red over tan will do as well, and that would be my last choice. My second choice would actually be yellow.
Yeah, they look good in
The
yellow.
Ferrari yellow.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolute favorite car. And then the other one that is a car that is like so close to my heart, but I cannot find it here in Thailand at a reasonable price, is the 8 Series BMW, the E21. And this one, I want to find just the body of that car. I want to find it abandoned and save it, and I want to put what is it called, the 60, is it M65 engine, M65 B50 engine. So the basically the V10 engine from the E60. Okay, again, whatever. Maintenance and blah blah blah. It's not about maintenance. It's not about all of this. It's just about the dream car. And I would do it. That BMW dark blue, again that midnight blue, with white interior. So very tacky, but yeah, just love that car. So these are the cars that they're just I don't know. They're just so, again, close to my heart for some reason. I can't really explain it actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a good looking car, the E21.
yeah. It's just, again, the proportions. There's no B pillar. It's just I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so now I'm just looking at those up. Renault Alpine, the A110, and I guess I must have fucked it up somehow. That search.
It's all right. It's normal for you.
Yeah. Okay, can't find it at the moment. So anyway, yeah, maybe we should look at that car. But yeah, the Abarth is. I guess the Abarth is what we should get because also we both experienced it.
Yeah, we know it.
Yeah, we.
And you know what I'm really excited about? It's not just going to be we're going to buy a second-hand Abarth and that's it. We're going to buy one and we're just going to turn it into a track car. But
So yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, but just with bolt-ons, yeah.
Yeah, bolt-ons. But we're going to like drive it to all these locations. So it's going to be this interesting, not compromise, but project to say, can we take this car and drive it, through Europe,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the cheapest Alpine I can find, so the new one is about let's say just under 60,000 euros.
oof. Okay.
But remember
I'm just doing
that with the pandemic and all of that, we're still at least a year away from this happening. Prices may come down. And actually, at that price, I would probably go E92 M3. Because that's the price also in Europe for E92 M3, well sorted.
Yeah, this is very, very pricey, even at a 50-50 rate. For the A110.
Yeah, yeah. It's again, it's those. It's the car magazines, man.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm talking about pricey for us, not for like Shmi and whatever else that'll go.
No, of course it'll be like it's a cheap change. And again, I really respect Shmi on his channel for this because the guy has been very successful and he deserves his success. There's no denying that. There's not even questioning it. But he doesn't revel in it. Like he's not putting this like all over your face. And that's why I said like he's really genuine. He really enjoy the cars. He giggles, driving his new cars.
Yeah.
He gets so excited by it, and that's where, if you do away with the whole hey, it's fine,
It's just funny. It really is funny. Okay, so let's see what I can find here. I think this has turned into the Planning a Holiday podcast.
Well, the thing is, okay, you're on La Centrale. Okay, yeah, perfect. Guys, have a look at that website if you want to browse cars. The thing is, this has like everything for sale in Europe. Probably the best thing. I don't know in the US, but in Europe, this is definitely a good site to be looking at.
These are pretty expensive.
Yeah, but just sort them by price. So go back up. There you go. You know, you were looking at the last, or like the latest generation. Look at this, 10,000 euros.
I'm trying to find gearbox. Do you want manual or auto?
Do I want manual or auto?
All right, let's have a look. All right, here we go. The manuals.
You know that until like I got my license in France quite late, I must say. I must admit, very late, because I was living overseas for so long. I had my license in other countries, but I got my license in France in 2000, and I believe in 2001. No, 2003.
This is the same one I had.
And yeah, in France at that time, there's no other license you can get but manual gearbox. That was the early 2000. There was only a driving license with a manual gearbox, unless you were handicapped or something like this. But otherwise, for you know, the normal. I don't want to say normal. Actually, it's a bit stupid to say that. But anyway, the regular one was with a manual gearbox, and there was no other way to go around it.
I think this has got the SS pack on it, this one.
Get the SS. Yes, we need to get the SS. And look at this. It's 12 and a half. You know.
This one up here, hang on, let me have a quick look.
It's up 2-3 weeks salary.
Maybe.
Oh man,
no,
I wish.
This is the SS 161 horsepower.
Yeah, so we get this. Basically, we want to, of course, service it completely. Put bolt-ons. I think what's very important is gonna be the brakes, at least the brake pads. Maybe an exhaust, maybe an air filter, whatever.
We're gonna strip it. We're still gonna make it comfortable because we have to drive it cross country, but we're still gonna do some work for this thing.
Yeah, so it's just a bit of work, and then the idea is then to go to the Nürburgring. Not to take it around the Nürburgring straight away, but go with a taxi first, and understand how to do to go around the Nürburgring. Rent a front-wheel drive that is not the Abarth, and then lastly go with the Abarth around the track, and then go over to Spa, do the same thing. And then either go to Goodwood, because we want the dates to coincide, or your favorite thing, Le Mans.
Yeah, man, I've got to do it.
And then after this, we'll drive the car back down to Bordeaux, where we have a nice garage for it. And if it makes it there, that's where we'll store it.
Sounds good. I'm very happy with this. Yeah, man. That's really cool. All right. Well, that was an interesting discussion that went from, hey, let's talk about retro cars to let's talk about our damn holiday.
Retro cars are nice, though. Retro cars are nice. But my favorite thing is actually resto mod. It's not easy to do. But resto mods, well done. Like like the extreme resto mod, like a Singer. You're just putting it to another level.
I mean, that's
it's insane.
It really is insane.
Yeah, it's just another level. But you bring the oldies shapes and everything. You just update them. You close those gaps because all the old cars have like such big gaps and everything. So you close those gaps. You just well, they do a lot more than this, obviously, but you put those modern headlights and turning lights and all of that, and make them perform like they never before.
Yeah, that's it. But man, you know what's interesting? I wanted to touch on the F1. We had 2 weeks of F1. We had 1 week off, and I just wanted to touch on what did you think of the F1? I mean, going back to Hungary, like the most recent race. I mean, that wasn't that like a show. To be honest, everyone's talking about. I think everyone's talking about it being awesome and things like that. I don't think it was that exciting of a race, to be honest.
Which one?
Hungary.
Hungary wasn't as exciting as yeah, it was not very exciting
No,
actually.
it wasn't. Everyone's going, "Oh
I
my
mean,
god!"
except for Verstappen's, mishap and what happened. But
But that's
yeah,
the thing that's amazing.
other
Wasn't
than this,
wasn't
yeah,
Verstappen's whole thing like incredible? Like
that's the
crashing,
hero thing. Yeah.
like
That's the
crash.
hero.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was like crashing at turn 12 and rebuilding well, the front left suspension on the grid with
Well,
10.
yeah. Apparently, it's a lot less than we thought was happening. But anyway, it's just unbelievable work. Yeah.
Because they had to. It was basically a tie rod that broke.
Yeah.
So they had to replace that. But at the same time, it's like I think they had to do like a wheel alignment on the grid.
No, they actually they didn't have to do the wheel alignment. They guessed the wheel alignment.
Oh, really?
They
I
just
didn't
went
know
with
that.
the original one. They were like, oh yeah, that should be valid. They all, it was rule of thumb kind of thing. And
Yeah.
and I love that we can still do this in Formula One.
Yeah.
That shows, because the thing is, people don't understand those cars. There's a lot of scotch tape to go over the rivets, to try and make it like sleek and everything.
That's
Of course, it costs a lot of money, but when you look at the parts themselves, they're not production ready. It's all prototyping,
yeah, and
like what they have on.
that's the funny thing about everything really. Like going into, I've been going really deep into video editing recently, and I've sort of been I've gone deep, and then you pull away, you get a bit of knowledge, and you pull away the shit, and you just go, oh, that's how they do it. It's actually really simple. It takes like 2 or 3 minutes to actually do,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just sort of go, things just aren't as impressive anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
the same thing when you look into Formula One. You get a lot of people that go, "Oh, it's all this, that, and the other," and they're amazed by whatever else. But
No,
like we were saying in the last podcast, it's the people. The people make the car,
yeah.
and when you actually look at the car, they look like technological marvels. But but man, the reality is that
They're held by
they,
scotch tape.
yeah, they
Yeah,
really are.
I
Like
mean,
the amount of times
it's not that bad, but not so long ago in Formula One, they had scotch tape over the rivets to just make it more,
slippery. Yeah,
slippery. Yeah,
but you look at Le Mans and you look at the cars at about a third or halfway through the race. It's like, oh, we changed the gearbox. Oh, especially in the GT category, they've taped up like the front bumpers and they do all this weird
yeah,
shit to
and it
get
still
through the.
works. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
what amazes me also is the floor. They break the floor over a curb or after a crash or something like this. They can still continue.
yeah.
And yes, they lose some performance over the aero kit, right? But uh, you know, it's just amazing to me. I mean, the fact that we look at this like the marvel, the latest technology, but actually, if we were just in front of it, if you're looking at the pieces and everything, it's not very even. It's not very, it's like it's not production ready.
Yeah.
It's certainly not to the level of what we get when you open a box of a Mac computer
I
or
I think
or
in
an
the
iPhone, right?
I think in the GT series, the cars are pretty production ready. One
Yeah,
of
yeah, but it's because they come from production cars modified,
Yeah,
right?
but
So that's a different thing.
I think the thing that's interesting is like as you start to get through a race, because I mean F1 races are like 2 hours max, and
Yeah, that's the limit is 2 hours actually.
yeah, but when you look at a 24-hour race, the shit that you see on these cars is just like the way they fix things is incredible. Like one of the amazing things, I'm actually trying to find it right now online, but is they have scotch tape or 3M or whoever. They make these like panels of duct tape that are like yay big to try. They're huge, just for racing and shit like that, to try and just like hodgepodge these cars back together. It's
Okay,
pretty. It's
cue the
pretty cool.
website because I need to.
Like I'm just trying to find. I'm
I'm behind on my emergency pack.
Yeah. I'm looking at. I'm. Bear with me while I try and find this stuff. But that, like you, I mean, we're just now repeating ourselves. But we're it really is like
I'll be
duct
back.
tape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Duct tape totally fixes everything. I mean, while I'm looking, I might
Yes.
leave this particular image on screen um, from our not our friends, but people we are a big fan of at Car Throttle. Nope, wrong one. I'll pull it up. But to me, I just find that sort of thing, you know, absolutely incredible. There we go. And the title being, well, duct tape fixed it.
Duct tape.
I'm still trying to find, but it's incredible. What what they do to win these races. Because these races are so important to them. Like everyone is so invested in them, and I mean, even the people that aren't racing, you can't. A lot of these people don't even find this as like.
Well, the same way we're invested in the success of what we're doing as well, man.
Yeah, I mean, access to
Wow. Okay, duct tape. Okay, I can see it now.
nine. Is it 917 or 914?
I have absolutely no idea. I did send you a picture of a funny Porsche though today.
Oh yeah, that was quite
Not
good.
Porsche, Porsche.
It was like a Honda Accord with a Porsche badge on it.
A poor. Did you see the double O?
Oh really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was Porsche, but double O.
I was in the barber's chair getting my hair did, so I didn't quite look that hard.
Yeah, have a look. Have a look. Have a look.
Yeah, but man, yeah, wow. That's one of the things. Like for me, and it probably sounds gay, but like even for me, at the end of a Le Mans race, I almost feel emotional, because it's just like I watched, it's normally like 72 cars racing.
Why does emotional equal gay?
No. No, but you know what I mean. Like it's a lot of people go, like, why do you feel like that after watching cars drive around for 24 hours? And it's because it's like you feel like, well, for me at least, I feel like I'm in the pit
I
garage.
haven't had enough sleep. Probably too much
Yeah, yeah,
filtering.
yeah.
You know,
But
I'm out of good nutrients.
yeah,
I haven't been to the toilets because it was intense in that particular group, and
exactly.
that's why I let it all go.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just like you feel like you're in the garage and you feel what the teams are feeling, it's pretty
Don't
great.
worry. When we go to Le Mans, I'll prepare
The Kleenex.
the Kleenex.
uh, Sadly, I think I'm going to actually have to do some editing on that because YouTube might go, that's a big no-no. You can't say words like that on the internet.
Like what? Handkerchief?
Like handkerchief, yeah, like handkerchief.
I thought that was only forbidden on Pornhub. Because it's advertisement.
No, that's used for after the scene.
Yeah. No,
But
but yeah. Again, any form of racing is fun and admirable. And yeah, seeing the spirit behind pushing from everybody in a team for pushing for victory is just great. And I think that's where perhaps WEC is even more gratifying because it's not even about winning first; it's about finishing the race first, and then
yeah,
let's see where
100%.
we end up, right? So,
Well, see
yeah,
the
well,
funny,
in Formula One, that's what Ferrari is doing this year, though. Also,
the funny, yeah, well, yeah, okay, let's keep back onto Formula One. Like, this is the funny thing. Like, Vettel really did a good job at Hungary. I think he did a great job.
well, he's a good operator. When the thing is, he's made with Ferrari anyway, and maybe it's frustration. I don't know what it is, but obviously, guy is a four-time world champion,
Yeah.
and you can't remove that from him, and you can't criticize him for any thing around this. He's got four titles. It's okay. He had the best car at the time, but still, you need to get it there, right?
Mm.
So and some of those world championship were very close also. So it's not only the car, obviously, it's the driver.
Yeah,
But
because when he
he
was
must have been frustrated at Ferrari at some stage. I don't know, or
well, that's the thing I find.
nervous, or I don't know. Like he made so many mistakes, is what I'm saying.
That's the thing I find so unfortunate because I am a big Vettel fan, right? And I find it really unfortunate for him because when he arrived at Ferrari, he spent a lot of time organizing the team more on a not the technical level, but like how the garage should operate, how the mechanics need to work to win a race.
Well, he
The
brought. I guess the. You know what? I don't believe that the driver has so much influence on how the garage is organized. Okay, definitely he brought some of the good practices that Red Bull had. Especially as being the most recent world champion. At least in the drive. Basically, in when he joined Ferrari, he probably brought some good practices. I think it's his feedback and how he communicates to the team. I think that's what the driver brings, right? It's the feedback, the feel for the car, and bring that feedback, you know, back to the team, back to the factory, to get a car that is tailored to the driving style, to make them as fast as possible. That's
Yeah,
why those teams have the favorite driver.
yeah. I mean, I
Um,
agree. Like, but see, this is the thing. This is before
but they're not
Leclerc.
the manager, is what I mean. Like they're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
managing. They're not like saying,
but
"This is my team. This is what I do," and blah blah blah.
I think the driver does have a lot of influence, and I think Vettel is
Uh,
particularly hands-on with that. And
Very vital. Yeah,
you know,
very
and
vital,
I
critical, definitely.
and he came in at a time where after Alonso left and he joined, like he really I think helped bring them back up to a level that was a little bit more focused and things like that.
Yeah.
And the thing that bothered me is, and here's the other thing, they had the engine transition during that time. They went to the hybrid, you know. So,
Oh, I
you know,
thought the engine transition was was the protest against their engine, and then all of a sudden, oh, their engine is not as good as anymore.
oh, but this is last year's. I'm talking about going from like,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, you
No,
know,
no, transitioning to the hybrid era.
turbo hybrid era. They went from NA. No, they went to turbo and then they went to turbo hybrid. And it didn't work. It just they struggled a lot, and I think Vettel really brought them up. And Leclerc came along and he's got good performance and everything like that. And I that's where I feel really bad for Vettel is that Leclerc definitely is driven by his age, and he's at Ferrari at such a young age, and he wants to prove himself and really become a champion. And I think he will be. I think he will be a champion one day. But I think Leclerc also needs to watch out because one of the things with Ferrari is they don't give a fuck. They are bigger than Formula One. Say what you want about them, but they are bigger than Formula One. Formula One is a very big part of their heritage. But if they just suddenly, like, they're just going to dump Vettel, a 4-time world champion, you know, just like that, not renewing the contract, anything. And I just find that it's a very tough situation to be in. And as far as I'm aware, I mean, people are saying that he's going to go to Racing Point or Aston Martin for next year. And I just go, it's a really tough situation because Vettel doesn't really have a drive for next year. Alonso is going to Renault, which I think is fantastic. Um, but what is he going to do? Is he going to chuck a Kimi Raikkonen and go Dakar rallying and World Endurance Championship or World Rally Championship? Like, we don't know. Like,
At this stage, he pretty much said it, in the conference that he had just a few days ago, that he can basically choose what he wants to do. So I don't think he's like Alonso, looking after the Triple Crown, but he's not saying that he won't race into any other categories. That's something that he might do. Uh, I think he's probably going to choose asphalt over anything else. But yeah, again, yeah, it's a big statement by Ferrari to just say, okay, we don't need your services anymore.
and
Thank you very much.
who's
Goodbye.
who's going there? Is it Giovinazzi is going to?
To Ferrari?
Yeah.
No, it's Science.
Oh, color science. Yeah. I mean, it's just
So Science
it's
Science is
a
going there. Ricardo is leaving Renault and going into McLaren.
yeah.
Alonso is going into Renault. So that's
Mm.
that's all the confirmed piece. And then they're looking at maybe Vettel joining Racing Point, Aston Martin. Perez just being given the boot. And Perez has just performed so well.
But
But
has he been given the boot? Because I mean, I know
no.
Stroll
But
and
these are still not confirmed. Yeah. And then Perez would go to Haas, and Haas, Romain Grosjean would leave Haas. And there's a lot of things around Romain Grosjean where he might not be. Talk about the developing driver. Apparently, that's what he did. Like a lot of people criticize him, but he brought the team where it is,
he went
he
from
helped it in the development a lot, and when they kind of crashed in terms of performances last year, he was the one to say no, let's go back to basics, and they did not believe him for a while, and then they went back to basics with his car, and then they believed him, and now the car is much better this year, and they understand it, but better at least. And so he's a development driver in a way. That's where his feedback, what you were saying or referring to earlier, is so critical and so important for the team. So,
I mean,
the thing is, he's apparently he's not very keen in continuing in F1 anyway. Apparently,
but this is
this
the
is
thing.
like some of the rumors.
I think
So Perez would think that's it.
my opinion is Grosjean was a number of years ago the joke of the Formula One paddock, right? Like
He still is.
he really
He
did.
still is to the outside.
Yeah,
He's not among the drivers. I don't think he is, because he's the the president of the drivers association already, second or third year you're running.
Yeah, he laughed at Vettel, but it was really interesting because he really showed himself at Renault after Raikkonen showed up, and for them to have like the two Lotus
It was Lotus, yeah.
constantly, they were placing, they were getting podium positions very frequently. It was great, and I think Grosjean really matured as a driver, and he went to Haas. I think he went, I'm going to go to the underdogs, but
Yeah, he did better than Hulkenberg.
Hulkenberg, he's a driver I wish was on the circuit.
I think Hulkenberg was obviously an amazing driver, but the thing is,
he won Le Mans. He won Le Mans.
Yeah, but he never made
F1, and
he still holds the record for the number of starts without getting a podium in F1.
Yeah, but I think
he had the opportunity to do it a few times.
I think Hulkenberg is purely is a perfect example of a good driver that was in F1 at the wrong time. And I say this because I'll give you the reason. F1 is changing the rules, because F1 drivers are like jockeys in horse racing. Mm-hmm. They have to be tiny, and Hulkenberg is over 6 foot.
Okay.
And this is the problem. Like he's always going to be heavy.
Didn't the regulation change in the past 2 to 3 years to change that?
Yes, but the problem is the regulation of the car didn't change. So the car still had this size.
I'd have to look into this.
Yeah, the car still had this size thing going, which meant that Hulkenberg just never could fit in the car properly, and it was like driving like that, like he could never fit in the car properly. Whereas like you put him in a Le Mans car and he wins it first time. Of course he was in Porsche, but like put that aside. But yeah, but you look at it and you just go, he is a he's an incredible driver. A lot of the commentators say exactly the same thing. His problem is the regulations did change about the drivers, but the issue was the car's regulation didn't change to make it, mandatory for particular sizes for drivers, and as a result, he basically got forced out of F1. Like his performance didn't match what he's actually capable of, and as a result, like he's no longer in F1. So me personally, I'm a bit butthurt that he's not in there, because I would have really loved to have seen it. And apparently next year they're changing regulations about this, that, and the other. And I think it's really driven by Mercedes, because they particularly it's around cost cutting and things like that.
But, you know what? I'm a small guy, so I don't agree with this argument, because I'm a small guy. I would have fit in the car without any problem.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't fit in your RX-7, you know. So I
No,
empathize a lot. I'm not super tall. I'm like
I do
190
fit in it,
centimeters.
so it's perfect.
I'm Hulkenberg's height, right?
Mm.
And I think, well, I'm not 190. I don't know what he is, but I assume it's the same. But I don't fit in an RX-7. So same thing. I don't fit in a Supra either. And Supra's not a small car, you know. The cabin is very small, but as a car as itself, it's not. So I mean, he's definitely one of those drivers where I just go, man, I would have loved to see what he could do, you know, given the conditions were right, you know.
Yeah, I mean, okay, why not? The thing is, he was rumored to actually join Haas
Yeah.
in in 2021, and the thing is, now is that gonna happen?
I don't know. It might happen. I mean, like it's because they need a, what is it? What is the driver ranking? Is it platinum or something like that? They need to be a platinum driver to join F1. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's, to me, Hulkenberg is a driver that I wish was very good. That I really wish would have done better, you know. And it's not done better because
But he
he could
fumbled
have.
it. Seriously, he fumbled it. He's 184.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm much taller than him, but you know, at the same time, like it's yeah, I don't know. Like all I've got to say is just, you know, Hulkenberg. Seriously, like he had his time in F1. Maybe he'll come back. I don't know, but you know, it would have been
Well, he
great
was
to see.
rumored. I mean, rumored. I don't know. Like when he left, it was there was a possibility at Haas. There was a possibility that he would come back. But with the Vettel announcement and
Yeah,
Alonso
but
coming
it's
back,
it's not even an announcement. It's a rumor, you know. So
no, Vettel's announcement.
what
Vettel's
announcement?
announcement of leaving Ferrari, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then and then Alonso going to Reynolds. So basically, you're staying. Remember that exercise that we do all the time, staying at the constant head count.
Mm,
Yeah. So that's basically what's happening in F1.
mm.
There's no room. So there's no room for next year. It doesn't look like there's room for any youngster to come through, or anybody making any comeback.
Speaking of youngster, what do you think of Albon's performance last race?
I'll follow what Russell said.
What did he say?
That
Oh
he's
yeah,
being
yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's being made to look like an idiot.
Yep, yep.
And that basically, you know, what we were referring to earlier, the feedback from
Yeah.
a driver to make the car perform exactly the way the car should perform for a driver. It seems to be that at Red Bull it performs for one driver, and that the feedback from the other one for them to be getting faster doesn't really matter.
But what? I mean,
Because the thing
I
is,
think Albon's response was classy too, because I know him and George Russell are quite good friends, and his response was quite classy. I mean, they're good friends, but I know his response was great. It was I appreciate the something like, I appreciate the feedback, but you don't actually know what's going on in the team. You know, I think that was quite good. Cemented his position, protected Red Bull, but at the same time, Albon really did show good performance in the first two races, and in this race he was out of the top 10. You know, it was just
yeah, and the
to
thing
me.
is, well, no, he finished seventh, didn't he?
No, no, no. You're thinking. No, hang on. Was it?
I thought he finished seventh in Hungary.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of Leclerc, who finished like 11th or something like
Yeah,
that.
no. But again, coming back to this, this is where there's the development of a car. You know, some drivers need the front to be more dirty. Some drivers prefer the back to be more planted. Blah blah blah. Right? And you cannot do one car for one, like for each driver.
Yeah,
Or actually, you try to set it up in that way. The thing is, at the end of the day, the car at Red Bull is set up for Verstappen.
but even
So
Verstappen,
whoever, I mean,
even
look at Gasly. Look at Gasly how he's performing. in back at AlphaTauri, right?
Mm.
The guy is like bringing that car, so definitely he's talented, right? But when he was at Red Bull,
Yeah.
performance was like
But this is the thing with
because the car was not even though they give feedback, and I think Alexander Albon gives feedback, that setup, or at least for the track in Hungary, really did not match his driving style.
Yeah, I mean, I look at
Plus the qualifying, where he actually on the radio came up to the team saying, "I told you not to put me in traffic." They brought him on. Brought him out in traffic for qualifying. He qualified, way down the grid because of this.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that. I think, but that's the thing. If they're trying to make room for somebody else, who are they making room for? Do they want
No, no, no,
Vettel?
no, 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 no. They don't make room for anybody. They just focus 100% on Verstappen. That's it.
Mm.
Verstappen is the star.
But this is the thing. Even
Talking
Verstappen,
about Red Bull,
yeah,
the Red Bull hair. So Red Bull is a 49, 51%. 51% belongs to Thailand. The son of the Red Bull hair was here. Drunk driving, his Ferrari hit a cop and killed the cop. Allegedly, I mean that's what all the reports say, and was actually accused of it by the
it was
Thai
was it in a
government.
599 or something, wasn't it?
I don't remember what the car was at that time, but anyway, um, so the guy escaped Thailand, so was on the run for such a long time, and now all charges have been dropped. Just yesterday, I think, yesterday or the day before yesterday. So the guy is, can come back to Thailand, never is going to be bothered anymore. Drunk driving, killing a cop.
It's a kingdom. What do you expect?
Yeah. Wow. Please edit that out on the.
I just look at it and sometimes you just go, like, I'm not surprised by that in the slightest. Like, what did you think? What did you think was going to happen? Like it's not even
Yeah,
a
but
surprise to me. Like it went quiet for so long. I mean, the Thai royal family for the most part doesn't really even live in Thailand most of the time. Is that right?
no, no, no. No, the Thai family does live in Thailand. Actually, not too far from where I am right now. They're just next door.
Yeah, I mean, I know we can see their
I
little
can see
apart.
their house from from my balcony.
Isn't it funny? Every time I'm there, I look at it and I go, "Oh, that's a really nice place." Why? But didn't you say there's like regulations, like buildings are not allowed to be higher than
Oh
them?
no,
And
it's a different thing. It's not them. It's of course the royal family. The royal family. There are some rules around building. Around their properties, which is this is something that's totally normal. I mean, for me, it doesn't shock me at all.
yeah.
It's fine.
But
Um,
going back to Red Bull, like it's
yeah.
I look at that and go, I seriously, like, what did you expect? Like, and at the same
But the
time,
thing is, I mean, when you taste Red Bull, and even if you try to make it better by putting a little bit of vodka in it, it tastes like ass. I'm sorry.
okay, so you know what the problem with
How did they make such an empire out of something that tastes like shit?
well,
I mean, it just like makes you, and it's more expensive than any other drinks as well in
but
in that bracket,
if
right?
we're talking
That
energy
segment.
drink, all of them taste weird. And like if you
Yeah.
look at beer objectively, beer tastes like shit. But at the same time, I will go to Thailand, we will sit at wine culture, and I will have an effin every time because whatever. But at the same time, um,
What?
the problem I have with Red Bull is actually the sugar content because I remember in Australia, particularly when I was like, all right, I'm designated driver, I'm not drinking. I would have like a Red Bull. This is before my health kick. And what would essentially happen was the next morning I would wake up feeling like I was hungover. It was just because I had too much sugar from the Red Bull. But when I drink sugar free, I'm okay. So I actually don't have a problem with Red Bull. Like I used to have a radio show back when I was like 18, 19 on a local radio station. And I did this thing one time where I said, I'm going to drink 16 cans of V. V is another energy drink.
Mm.
And I did it, but it was all sugar free, right? So I felt fine the next morning. So for me personally, the flavor is okay. I don't have an issue with it. But
It
but I get what you
tastes
mean.
bad, and beer tastes good for everybody. Listening, for all 37 people who actually did. Actually, probably nobody got to this part of the show, but the thing is, come on.
But you're also look, I get it. I totally get it. You're also a pussy that's never had coffee in your life, whereas I have at least 4 cups a day. So, I mean, what do you want?
Willpower, man. It's
Well,
willpower.
it's willpower, except, you're still a pussy because you don't drink coffee. Like every
No, I have no
day,
problem with it.
I walk into my building, I walk straight to Starbucks, and I get a cup of tar.
And you go to Starbucks and you get your little cup and you're getting your little coffee, that you like, that people remember you for. Hello, Mr. Eric, and blah blah blah. And I'm the I'm the girl in the couple. No, no, no,
You know what the funny thing about that is?
no.
You're absolutely right.
Yes,
100%. I walk
yes,
through the door. The
yes,
staff at Starbucks see
yes,
me.
yes,
They say hello to me. I give them the
yes,
money. I don't even order anymore. I give them the money,
yes,
and
yes.
then there's my coffee, and I go upstairs to my office. So
Yeah.
it's you're 100% right. That's exactly what it is. But that's the same. It's been
To
the
your
same.
oversized manager room
It's not oversized. It was smaller
that
than
I
yours.
approved.
Yeah,
Of course, yours is smaller than mine. Of course it is.
but I have a bigger whiteboard, and that makes me happy because that whiteboard is
Yeah,
constantly full.
but look behind the pages.
I did see that. I remember one day you you know
Yeah,
it was
explain the
funny.
joke while I refill on my
All right, so
energy drink.
once upon a time, Julian and I have worked together on 2 occasions, and on the last occasion, Julian was my superior, and he came to visit.
I've always been
Um,
your superior. I'll
you
always
have,
be.
but going back to that, he visited for a week, and then as we were setting up the new office and everything like that, and I had all these budgets and everything like stuck to my whiteboard. And so, he's come, we've done our thing, he's left. And then the funny thing was they were sitting there. I always have budgets on my whiteboard. And about a month later, he goes, "Did you like my surprise?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? This is a month later." He goes, "Have a look under, there was a variation of the budget. He's have a look under there, and it's just cocks drawn onto the bit of paper." And I was just like, classic Julian. I love it. And the funny thing was, I didn't move it at all. The only reason why they got removed off the whiteboard is because we had to do like a new budget. I think it was like a 9+3 budget or something like that. And I took them off, and my financial controller was with me, and she goes, "What the fuck is that?" And I just went, "Damn cleaners must be playing games on us." But you know what the funny thing is? My financial controller, who has taken on to drawing on my whiteboard.
Dicks as well.
No, she draws boats.
Oh, she's taking on. Okay, sorry.
She draws boats, and I'm like, okay, but anyway,
Not as sexy, but yeah.
not as sexy. But speaking, there is that boat trip we want to do in Monaco. So
With your financial controller.
no, why would I want to do that? This is another F1 trip,
But
man.
why would you want to do a boat trip in Monaco with another guy?
Oh, because you're a really good enabler.
Ah, yes, there we go.
And basically you're just gonna be like, yeah, of course, let's go to the casino and be reckless.
I'm really not into casino. I only played the casino once in Sydney.
I don't like it at all. Like, I had a lot of friends that would go to the casino just because it was for those that are international, like Australia closes at 5 o'clock, and the only thing that's really open is a few restaurants until 8 o'clock, and then you get some nightclubs, but they also close before midnight. So the casino is the only thing that's open all the time. So we would go to the casino for like a late night feed because they have like a really dodgy sort of cafe thing that you'd go and get chicken wings at and whatever else. But I'd go to the casino and they'd be like, oh, "I'll be back. I'm gonna have a slap." A slap is like using the what are they called? I don't know, the machines, that you gamble on.
Oh, the sluts. The
Yeah,
slots.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The
Slot
slot
machine.
machine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
The
it's
slot
that.
machine is different place.
Yeah. So they go, I'm gonna have a slap, and I'm like, okay. And they'd all go, how come you don't play anything? You don't play cards or roulette? And I go, I have this really good game that I play. It's called the bar. Every time I go there and I put money on the table, I win a prize. So for me, that was just every time. Like, I know it's like a bullshit answer, and they probably got tired of hearing me say it over and over again. But like, man, it was just I just go, I don't care. Like, it's not interesting to me. I'd rather spend my money on other things. And they go, oh, but you could win money, and it's like, yeah, one day you might win $10,000, but $10,000 disappears pretty fast if you've got like, you know, tastes for particular hobbies. Like,
Or if you play the slot machine.
yeah, I mean, like if you look at it, it's like, in some of these countries, if you want to go from an NA to a turbo conversion, 10 grand will go very, very quickly.
Actually, there would be a lot of things we can do with 10 grand though in Thailand.
There's a lot of things you can do with 10 grand here, but I mean, it's about having a plan. It's about having a plan.
Yeah. It reminds me of that joke as well, this guy winning the lottery, getting home, and honey, I won the lottery. Pack your bags. And then she says, "Oh yeah, darling, where are we going?" No, no, just pack your bag. Get the fuck out. I like that.
You know what the problem is? You and me are pretty used to getting on a plane every month, and I think you and me are used to overseas every month. Yeah.
Not anymore. I have changed position.
Yeah, but I
Yeah, yeah.
mean, for me, that's
I'll
gonna
take the plane. Yeah, quite. I mean, anyway, traveling, nationally at least, domestic flights.
at least nationally. Yeah.
Yeah,
For me,
quite a month. Yeah.
the whole COVID thing, it's driving me crazy. Like, you are 3 hours away by plane, and
Yeah.
and I was coming
Yeah.
over.
Talk about social distancing.
Yeah, social distancing. Be a zombie. I saw this video of somebody at like a fast food restaurant in like the US the other day. Actually, not the other day, today. And he's standing in the queue to get food, and he's like this. He's like, and he's got his mask on, and he's just like, no, 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 trying to make sure people don't come in. I just go, fuck me dead, man. Like, are you serious? Like, I look at it and I went for a haircut today and I had somebody's hands all over my head, and I was just like, you cut me a break.
Mm. Yeah, it's a bit overboard, but again, we can't really blame anybody for trying to, feel safe.
No, I know, but like at the same time, it's just the main point was, we realistically started this podcast, and I'm sure we're going to have a podcast where we're actually sitting next to each other. But the problem is, like, we started this podcast so that we could um, so that we could catch up again, because normally I would just fly to you, on a Friday night and come back Sunday night.
It sounds like a romantic weekend.
No, but I mean, you'd need to be with each other if you want to actually like buy a car or.
So for people listening, I'm top. He's bottom. Just,
Yeah,
just,
I may
just
be
for
bottom.
clarification.
I may be bottom, but I'm a power bottom.
I I give you the illusion of it.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably.
I think it's
I think
yeah.
there's one more thing I want to cover before we.
Okay, let's cover.
One last thing.
Use protection. Use cover.
Yeah. Okay. I'll use cover. So it was Car and Driver. I was looking at Car and Driver today while I was getting my hair cut, and
What is this? Is
I
that a
saw.
website?
Yeah, I saw the editor's 2020 pick. Now I'm sure this is an evolving document, but
Oh,
2020 pick for cars. And I was just blown away by some of the options here. Like, okay, let's have a look at. I don't know if
Okay.
that's big enough for you. Best super compact, and this is very US centric.
Again,
So
talking about your complex about size, but yes,
yeah,
okay.
but best super compact car, 2020 Toyota Yaris. So the real Toyota Yaris doesn't actually exist in the US. It's actually subcontracted by Mazda, and they basically
Rebadge
they
Yaris.
rebody the Mazda 2. Vasilios's car.
Okay.
So they
I
basically
haven't
get.
tried, so okay. Where are we going with this?
I just want to have a look at it, and I just want to see if you agree. So would you say the best subcompact car is a 2020 Toyota Yaris?
I don't know. I haven't tried any of them. If I had tried some of them,
Yeah, but
I
man,
mean, okay. So if we
we
keep it subjective, then
yeah,
subjective choice,
okay,
I'd probably go for the Honda Jazz myself.
okay.
Yeah, I mean,
and,
that
and and just making a point, we are now YouTubing on the internet, so that gives us complete license to judge cars without ever having driven them.
I'll show YouTube.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know that I agree with this. This is a fucking ugly looking car.
It is pretty ugly, and the thing is, I mean,
No,
you were mentioning Mazda 2 as being, the rebodied. I mean, Mazda is actually doing pretty great in terms of looks. I quite like their design right now.
yeah, I mean
They look so really good, but yeah, this looks like
this is disgusting.
this looks like this looks like a fish. This looks like how do you call it? Those fish, like with the big mouth.
Yeah,
I don't know. It looks really bad. Yeah,
the guppy looking things.
the catfish. Yeah, those
Yeah,
catfish.
yeah.
With
But
the
I
big
mean,
mouth and
I look at this and I just go, you know what? The Mazda 2 is actually a commendable car, but I mean, this is frankly.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Mazda has got great cars, so why would they go with this? Actually, I don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
but this, as I said, it says Toyota Yaris. I think the normal Toyota Yaris is a better car looking than that.
Well, I was watching this episode of Throttle.
Yeah.
Throttle, not Car Throttle, which I love as well as a channel, but Throttle, and they just bought some Suzuki Cappuccinos,
Hmm.
and that would be my compact car.
Yeah, but I'm
It's
talking
good.
like.
They can now import it from Japan, so
Yeah,
they were
but
never imported into. So they're no, arguably they are new cars in the US.
I worry about you sometimes, Julian, because we're talking about new cars.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Arguably, they are new cars in the US because they were never able to be imported in the US because
it's
now
not...
they reached 25 years. So
Okay.
arguably, they are new cars in the US. So again, back to this, those
All right.
are
So
new
we should.
cars in the US. So I would go
We
in
need to.
that category for the Suzuki Cappuccino.
All right. So to every 8 or 16-year-old in the US looking for the new car, buy a Suzuki Cappuccino, not a 2020
Yes.
rebodied Mazda 2 that's
And there
called
you
a
go.
Toyota.
Back at you again, back at you with your coffee comment earlier. That
Uh,
actually hurt my feelings.
all right, pussy. So, all right, best subcompact car, Honda Civic.
A Civic, yes, yeah. I mean that this compact car. Wait. The thing is, I don't really know the American market, so I'm not too sure what else they have as American cars in that segment.
Fuck the American market.
Um,
We are international, so
okay.
we have the full gamut of international cars. So I look at the Honda Civic and I go, yes, I think it is a great subcompact car, but it's probably not the car I would buy. So we're talking about
Ah,
Megane. We're talking about
I'd go. Yeah, basically, you said it.
the
I'd go for
Megane.
that.
The
Yeah,
Megane. Yeah.
yeah. I
So
think I'd go for that.
the Honda
Um,
Civic is a commendable car, but only because the Type R exists, not because of the standard model. I would probably look, me personally, at a Megane. Again, it's also possible a Golf would be a good option. So
oh yeah, Golf. Yeah, but it's hatchback then. It's a little bit different from this. Yeah. Well, a compact car. Yeah, I guess yeah. The hatchbacks.
yeah. So
Going to that. No, then I would go. Yeah, I changed my answer. I'd go Golf as well.
okay, I'd probably go the Megane. You go the Golf. So
Yeah.
best family sedan. So they've got
Manual gearbox, diesel. That's where I would go.
Yeah, I'd probably go DSG diesel, but okay.
Yeah.
Best
I,
family.
I I love the diesel for the torque and with a manual gearbox, those 6-speed gearbox from Volkswagen actually are good. I did drive one in France once, and it was it's quite fun to drive actually, I must say.
Mm. But see, the problem when you look at Europe, you have so many rebodied Volkswagen products. So you also have the Seat, you have the Skoda, So
Actually, I changed my answer again. I'll go for a 3 Series. I'll go for a 320 D or I.
yeah, but I mean,
Manual gearbox.
but that's when we're talking
Shut the
about.
fuck up. I can
That's
change my.
yeah, you're talking wrong category, bro. So now we need to go
What?
to family
It's
sedan.
the
So then,
compact. No, family sedan. Then I go 5 Series.
yeah, but that's not full size. No, full
What?
size would be 5 series. Compact sedan would be 3 series.
What do you know about full size?
Do you know how long it takes me
I'm
to
talking to you
shower?
about friends.
I'll give you full. I'll show you full size. But
No, you
okay,
won't.
so you're saying golf, and I already know the answer for best
Well, 3
family sedan.
Series. 3
What?
Series.
Yeah, which means it's in the family sedan category. So the Honda Accord is what they
No,
picked.
family sedan is 5 Series.
No,
And
full.
then you have luxury sedan with a 7 Series. No?
Yeah, but then they've split it up between family sedan and full size sedan. We're trying to work
What
to
I'm
their.
saying is that I would go BMW all the way from your Toyota Yaris to your Mazda CX-30. I
All
would
right,
go
so
BMW all the way.
your best compact car is a 2 series or 1 series. Your
Yeah,
best family
an
sedan
M2,
is a
an
3,
M3,
and your best full
or an
size sedan
M4,
is a 5.
an
Okay,
M5,
yeah, okay, whatever.
and then the okay. Then I would go second hand. I would go for the M6 Grand Touring yeah, and then for the Mazda CX-30. No, actually, then I would switch to Mercedes.
Okay,
I would go for E63.
so for all the ladies out there, so for all the ladies out there that are really big Julian fans, if you really want to make him happy, you want to coax him away from his wife. That's well, you're going to have trouble from about that, but because you haven't seen her. But if you want to coax him away, it's all about have the BMW 2020 catalog in your garage, and by that I mean the actual cars, and he might consider it. So best full size sedan. Okay, you're saying 5 series. All right. So best compact SUV.
Compact SUV.
I know your answer
What
immediately.
the fuck is this?
The answer is why does this category exist?
Yeah, exactly. Well, a little bit different. I would go for a Pajero Pinin.
Okay, I'd probably say a Jimny, Suzuki Jimny.
Yeah, okay.
All
Yeah,
right,
the answer as well.
next row,
Oh man, you've got rows of this.
Oh, dude, look at it. We've got a lot to get through. So, all right. So, best subcompact. Oh, fucking hell, so many categories. Just dump some of these. Look at this. They're going CX-30. Okay, great. It's a
Okay, the
CX.
Macan. I would go Macan.
No, that's bigger. The Macan is bigger than subcompact. So the subcompact is so
No,
the
CX-30
the Yaris. So the Mazda CX-30 is basically the Mazda 2 on stilts.
on high heels. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I like the high heels.
Me too. If a woman doesn't wear high heels,
In
GTFO.
bed.
Yeah,
Um,
GTFO.
um,
I've never forgotten.
what?
Only good girls take their heels off before bed.
Yeah.
You said that.
No. Good girls wear high heels. Bad girls wear high heels in bed.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yes.
They only
Okay.
take it. Only good girls take them off before bed.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So best compact SUV. I'm gonna say best
Compact
compact
SUV.
SUV.
Macan then.
Yeah, I would say.
That's what I would buy. Again, I haven't tried any of those cars, so I
Okay.
can't really judge from this.
How about I read the categories out to you so you get it? Because you're French, I understand. So the
So
categories.
you've learned how to read? Good. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've evolved from the caves, and I now understand English.
I'm in
So
my man cave, so I'm fine.
cool. So is best compact SUV, best mid-size SUV, best large SUV.
The SUV war. Okay, it goes from the Macan up to the G63.
Okay. I'm.
The six-wheeler at the Ultimate, actually.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's skip SUVs because SUVs are for.
Yeah, another use. Another use. Let's be polite.
Let's be polite. Okay, so best station wagon.
Station wagon.
Subaru Outback.
RS6.
RS6. I agree. There's we're not disagreeing there. Best electric vehicle. They picked the 2020 Hyundai Kona. Now this is a vehicle not sold in Asia.
The Tesla
Model X.
Yeah, the Testes Model X.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I would have to say because there's not really any other options. Actually, Audi released that other car, but I still probably gonna have to pick the Tesla. So best sports compact car, and they've put the Golf GTI.
Okay, so here, and we're in the US, right? Car and Driver.
Yeah.
So here, I would say Clio V6, which was never sold there, but now you can import it.
For fuck's sake, I'm talking new cars, bro.
It's a new car for them because
Really?
they were not able to import it before. So this is where I'm putting my foot down, my fist down, my
Okay.
well, whatever. But
All right,
you know,
so
like okay, if it's a new car, like as in 2020 build.
okay, so basically,
And no, I would have to say an A45 then.
A45S would be my pick.
Yeah. But A45.
But the problem is the M2 competition exists.
Compact car. Okay.
M2 competition would do it for me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna need you to carry the conversation for about 2 minutes while I piss. But the best mid-size pickup truck. I know it's your favorite category.
The mid-size pickup truck. Is the Maloo out of the competition? Because I think the Maloo could, that would be nice.
Well, it's not a pickup truck; it's a Ute. But
it's a Ute. But I mean, okay, same difference. Come on, you with the Australian, like kind of a exception to culture or whatever. Come on, it's good enough. Who needs a pickup anyway? I don't. I don't need this. So, what is the next then? Actually, where did you go? Because you're talking about a pickup truck. Are you talking about the Jeep Gladiator? Or are you talking about the Volkswagen Jetta? I don't understand. Let me see. It doesn't make sense, man. Really doesn't make sense. I would go. What is that? Okay. The best sport compact car. Oh, okay. So the pickup truck. No, I would go with the Maloo. Pickup truck. I have no idea with pickup trucks. I've never been looking at them. So the LT200 Mitsubishi is what I'd go for, maybe. Yeah, let's go. Man, utility trucks, forget it. No, back up, because yeah. I would go with the Mercedes-Benz Metris or the Ford Transit for transportation. Okay, so we can come back down a little bit. No, yeah, okay. The best sports car. I'd love to try the Corvette, actually, but I think it looks ugly. I cannot hear you. Are you still Are you back?
Can you hear me? Shit, I've been
Okay.
talking this whole time and you've not been able to hear me.
Actually, that was the best comments you ever made in the last 5 minutes.
Thanks, baby.
Um,
So forget the pickup
forget
trucks.
those. Forget those. They're just like boring.
If we're talking about pickup trucks, they stopped making the Maloo about 2 years ago. So
I don't need a truck to pick up, man. Um,
okay, that's the official podcast statement. I do not need a truck to pick up. End of story. If we're talking about full-size van and full-size city van, I don't care about vans, but I'd probably pick the Renault. And if we're talking about city van, I'd probably pick the Lexus. Simple.
Yeah. Okay.
Best sports car. So there's 4 cars.
No, the Chevrolet I think is ugly. Whatever it can do for the price that it does, it's just amazing. I just find it very ugly.
Yep.
It just looks ugly. I think that the wheels, they have to do something with the wheels. It's just like it's sunk in.
You know what the newest the C8 Corvette looks like to me?
No,
It
an
looks like
NSX.
yes, it looks like the original NSX, and that's why I
No,
like
it
it.
looks like an NS sucks. Actually, it just looks bad.
Sorry,
And
I
the
think
only way it looks good is when we look at Rob Dan and when it's crashed. That's the only way it looks a bit better.
I like the C8 Corvette. I've been a sucker for Corvettes. There's a thing, like if I love that super crazy Corvette that they built, and I also love the Dodge Viper ACR. I mean, those 2 cars.
Oh yeah.
Everyone says the
Yeah.
ACR is a car that beats you up, but I don't care. I need that in my life one day. I want to buy that version, the last generation of the ACR.
It's not that I mean, it's not out of this world actually in terms of prices. The ACR.
It's
You'll be
355 money. That's the
huh?
problem. That it's
Yeah, it's
355
355 money. It's
and that's
you
why
can find one for 70, 80,000 dollars.
and that's the problem. That's the problem. Like I have a problem that I would 100% go 50-50 in a 355 with you, but I know you would never buy an ACR with me.
I would. Let me beg to differ. I would.
All right.
Because I think it's an amazing car. I think it's probably I'd be able to use about 1 to 2% of its capabilities, but still I'd be a proud owner
Okay.
of that car.
Well,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
we're going to do
definitely.
is we'll buy both. We agree now. We buy both. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. We buy both.
So
All
since
right.
I can use only 1 to 2%, I'll participate to that level as
Cool.
well.
So
Fine.
the best sports car that they've picked, there's 4 in the lead. So there's the C8 Corvette,
But man,
the
what
Boxster,
was
Cayman, and Supra.
is that just like based on our comments and videos and articles that we've watched, or
Fuck, I don't know. It's the editor's pick. So it's
okay,
like we said,
yeah,
editor's choice.
yeah,
Editor's choice.
no fucks given. Just go for whatever we want to have.
And at the end of the day, they're trying to make buying advice. And like I look at it and go,
Okay, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this and pick those based on Thailand, like what I can pick here.
yeah.
So the best sports car, I would never go for a Porsche 718 for a Boxster here because the price is just insane. So for this, I'd probably be looking at the Supra,
How
the
much is
new
a Supra
Supra.
in Thailand?
It's about 150,000 USD.
Yeah. Oh, let me do the calculation here.
And that's the 2 liter, by the way. So 4.5 million baht. Yeah, that's right around 140, 150,000 USD.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. 140,000 USD here.
The
The
2
Supra.
liter, not the 3 liter.
No, the 3 liter is 140,000
Oh, no.
USD here.
Yeah, it's 2 liter here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably go the Cayman because I can get a second-hand one. 718, cheaper than the new Supra. So I probably
Now
pick that.
then I would go for I mean when we're looking at this, then I would go for an R8. And the reason why is because they depreciate so fast here in Thailand. But I would still be looking for a 2008 R8 at around 180,000 USD.
Okay. I'm not going to disagree. I think the R8's a great car, and that would probably be worth picking. So here we go. Best muscle car, irrelevant. Best entry, best entry luxury compact. They've picked the M2.
In Thailand, I would go for the C
C36 or 30, whatever it's called.
C43.
Yeah, that's it. C43.
Yeah, because the BMW M2 is about $35,000 more, which is still around 4.6. So yeah, 108. Yeah, 150,000 USD.
I'm gonna have a look
New,
at how
new.
I'm gonna have a look at how much a BMW M2 costs here, because if they are all right, would you fly to Jakarta to drive an M car?
I'd fly to Jakarta just to see you and have a good evening with you. So if you incentivize it with an M2, yeah, I'd be there.
Let me have a look at what the M2 is. Shit. Hang on. I've got to share my damn screen. Hang on. Screen capture. All right, let me try and find this in Indonesia. Let's see what an M2 costs here.
Then I'm gonna have to go, man.
Yeah, I've got to do the same. All right. This is not an M2. What the fuck?
It's a Je t'aime too.
Yeah. I'm trying to find an M2.
You know what Je t'aime means in French, right? I love you in French is Je t'aime.
Is
So
it?
it's a Je t'aime too.
Okay. All right. M2 here with less than 5,000 kilometers is roughly 100,000 USD.
Ah, pocket change.
I mean, I could buy that now, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, I think what we have in mind anyway to buy an old car that we just restore to it's going to be a lot more fun. We're going to see the steps involved. It's going to be a pain, but it's going to take its time. But it's going to be, yeah. I think it's what we have in mind is still better.
Yeah, I agree. Okay,
So
I don't.
keep this open, to that page, to that, whatever. Let's do this the next week.
I think we need to do this next week because I don't think we finished it. All right, I've saved it.
Yeah.
I've saved it to our folder.
Yeah.
But I think we'll call it there. Yeah.
Yeah. I have some duties as a husband and.
I have some duties as a neighbor to carry out right now. So.
Well, you as a wife, but yeah, for me as a husband,
It's gone.
and a father.
It was full when we started. So.
Me too. It's completely empty.
Wonderful.
It's evaporated. So yeah, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. But actually, we don't really care about you guys. What we care about is catching up, Eric and I. So if you did enjoy it, whatever.
Whatever, man.
See you next time.
Fantastic.
But, yeah, Eric, great catching up.
You too.
Sorry I couldn't make it last week. Yeah, it has to be a bit flexible at this stage.
We'll talk offline. All right, everybody. Thank you for sticking around for the podcast. If you like it, like I said, subscribe.
If you like it, put a dislike.
If you like it, subscribe, but don't share it. We don't want people seeing this shit.
Don't like it.
Yeah, like it.
Just let us do our thing.
Yeah, let's do a thing. Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a good afternoon.
Spoil it.
Or evening.
Love you.
Or morning. Doesn't
Bye.
matter. Bye.